All right, guys, welcome to the February 2021 Reiki Restorative. For tonight's class, I'll have you gather a few supplies. I have a little pile over here behind me. So if you have a few cushions from the couch, you could use that. A big bolster, perhaps, or larger pillows. I have another larger pillow from the couch and a yoga block if you have it. And then I invite you to grab a heating pad if you have it. If you would like to use that, that's just an extra little um, thing that we'll use at the end. Okay. So I'll allow a few moments for you to get settled in, grabbing your supplies. And then once you do, just come into a comfortable seated position. Right. So tonight's class is going to be a restorative class focusing on digestion. We are about to embark on the 5-day Kitchery challenge. Some of us are. And so this sequence will be really beneficial in supporting our digestion. Of course, it can be used at any other time that you want to come back to this if you need a little bit of assist for your digestion. Okay. The very first pose that I'd like to offer is child's pose with inward fists. So we're going to work into that. I'd like you to start on hands and knees, please. Having a few props nearby to support your child's pose once you get there. Okay. So starting on hands and knees. I'm just going to inhale and shift forward. Exhale, shift back. If you do like using gentle music during your practice, you can provide that for yourself. And I encourage maybe some dim lighting, candles, perhaps essential oils, just really making this experience nice and sweet as you wind out your weekend. And just move nice and slowly back and forth. And next time that you press back, go ahead and just press to seated on the heels. Grab your supports, maybe to support the chest or head. And then the fist portion of this pose is to assist in the intensity of the compression. Okay, so we're going to take fists and we're just going to bring it right to kind of the upper thighs, kind of the fleshy part of the belly. And as we fold forward, we're going to keep the fist there. Might have to realign your bolster. Keep the fist there in the belly, roll down, and support the head on the prop. If you find that intensity a little bit too uncomfortable, then you can remove the fists and just do a supported child's pose. Child's pose is a well-known restorative posture. It's really great for calming the nervous system, for winding down, for calming and soothing the mind. And then this addition of the fist is really what makes it quite beneficial for the digestion. Allow a few more moments for you to get settled in. And then we'll be here for 3 to 4 minutes. So if at any time this becomes too uncomfortable, There's always the option of just moving on to the back for a Shavasana type pose. Okay. On your next inhale, lifting the torso, sitting on the heels for just a moment. And then we're going to prepare for our second pose, which will be supported bridge pose. I'm going to go for a little something softer tonight. So I have my stack of 2 pillows. You could also use a yoga block. You could use a bolster, or really anything that you can have underneath the hips and sort of sacrum area. Okay. So there's various ways to get into this. I'm just going to sit on top of the cushions. I'm going to lie down. And then the stack of pillows is underneath the hips. Hands can be on the belly, or you can have the hands alongside the body, palms facing up. Bridge pose will open the chest, stretches the front of the body, and it provides a gentle back bend. By having support underneath the body, this turns the more active bridge pose into a really nice supported restorative pose. Allow the hips to settle into the support. Turn your attention, your awareness to your breath. Tonight's practice will not only aid in the physical aspect of digestion, the physical body digestion of our food, but it will also serve to digest our experiences of the day. So there's a mental and emotional digestion as well. There's space and time to allow both of those to happen. Again, we'll be here for 3 or 4 minutes. Take a deep breath in, exhale, release. We're going to transition out of this pose here in just a moment, and I want you to do so and then find yourself on your back again. So for me, in the support I have, I can lift the hips up just a little bit and slide everything out. If you have a bigger support, you might need to roll to the side, sit up and move everything out of the way, and then come back onto your back. Take the knees, bring the knees into the chest, holding the kneecaps with the hands. Inhale, let the pelvis Rock forward, lengthen through the arms. Exhale, draw the knees into the body. As you move through the pelvis, low back, pressing into the floor. We'll do this again. Inhale and exhale. Keep the knees drawn in. Going to move into some frog circles, preparing for the next pose. Take the knees away from each other. Forward, away from you, back in and around. Allow the pelvis to rock as you do this. Switch directions. And the knees into the chest. Release one foot and then the other. Slowly roll on to the side and press yourself up. Take your time. We're not going to get in any rush tonight. We're going to move into a supported half frog pose, belly down. And for this, I'm going to use a little something larger. You might have a long bed pillow, or you could use just two of the smaller ones stacked front and back. Okay. You may also want to have a small pillow or a rolled blanket nearby to place under the knee when we get into that pose. So we're going to come over the pillow, lay down onto the belly so the chest is supported. The hips are supported. Take the hands, lay them one on top of the other, and bring the forehead down. So you'll have a space for the nose and mouth so you can breathe easy. From there, we'll take let's just do the right knee for sake of being on the same side. And we're going to bring the knee up towards the waistline. The knee is extended out from the hip, and then the ankle is down below the knee. Again, you can place something under the knee if you need to. And if you realize that lying on the belly does not work for you at all, what you'll do is you'll come onto your back. And you can open the knee out to the side, same kind of frog position, having a pillow underneath the thigh. So spend a moment or two just exploring, seeing how this pose might work for you. Lying on the belly creates a gentle compression in the abdomen area for the digestive system. And then having that knee up, bending a knee up, activates our rest and digest response. We'll be here just a minute each side, so shorter time here on the belly. And drop into your breath. And go ahead and extend the leg that was bent. And then with the tops of the feet down, just shake the heels side to side. You could do them same way or opposite out and in. Maybe even shifting through the hips a little bit here, just releasing any tension in the low back. Bring the legs to stillness. And then the next inhale, bring the other knee up in half frog. And once we're settled in, we'll have about a minute for this side. Extend the other leg. Just shake the feet a little bit. Shift through the hips. And very slowly press up from the belly, up to hands and knees, and shift back into child's pose for just a moment. You should have your support there so you can use it as it is available to you. Just stretching through the back. Inhale, press up. And we're going to get ready for our next pose, which will be a squat. So for this one, I'm going to get a little bit higher up with my support. I'm taking my pillow and my bolster. We're going to come into standing. I have the edge of my feet on the pillow. And as I exhale and lower down, my pelvis is supported with the bolster. So I want you to squat in such a way where you're completely supported in the underneath of the body. If you don't have the right props, then just come into a chair, separate the legs wide, and do seated in a chair with wide the legs as if you're in a squat. Okay, close the eyes. Drop into the breath. The slow squat really activates the Apanavayu or downward energy. Also promotes elimination. We'll be here in this pose for 2 minutes, starting now. If at any time you need to come out of this pose, just come onto your back, Shavasana. Deep breath. Release. Shift the weight forward, bring the hands down to the ground, and come into a brief standing forward fold. Keep the knees deeply bent or as bent as you need to. So you can receive a nice forward fold with the belly resting on the thighs, the crown of the head down. Walk your hands forward, lower down onto the knees, sit on the heels. Let's set up for a reclined twist. So for me, I need quite a bit of height to make this accessible for me. We're gonna shift over onto the seat, having the right side parallel with the edge of your support, and then just bending through the back knee, okay? Try to be as close as you can. Place the right hand outside the hip, the left hand in front of the legs, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, very gently, easily rotate over the bolsters. The left hand moves up to alongside the front of the supports. Again, lengthen. And as you exhale, lower the chest down over the block or the supports rather, and then you can turn the head to one side. And so the body is resting on the support in a twist. Again, we'll only be in this pose for about a minute each side. And the invitation, as always, if this pose, if holding the pose does not work for you, if you cannot find comfort or ease, then just come onto your back and spend more time in Shavasana. Twists are really great for stimulating the digestive system. Take the hands, bring them back alongside your support. Use the arms to press yourself up to seated. For a moment, I'd like you to come into a symmetrical pose, so just sitting cross-legged, or you could sit on heels. Lengthen through both sides of the waist, through the crown of the head. Exhale, release. Another breath like that. Set yourself up for the second side. I'm just going to leave my support where they are. I'll turn my back for a moment. You can see it from the other direction. Bring the left thigh. So you're sitting right alongside the prop. Having the right leg back behind you. Take the left hand behind the supports. Right hand in front. Lengthen through the torso. And then exhale, begin to rotate, bringing the right hand in front of the supports. Inhale, lengthen again. And then exhale, folding over Bringing the chest down, walking the hands forward and placing them wherever is comfortable, turning to the side of the head. And you'll settle in here for a minute. Bring the hands alongside the support, and as you inhale, press yourself up. Come into a seated pose. You could sit on your props if you'd like, but come into a symmetrical pose where you can lengthen through both sides of the waist, lengthen through the crown of the head, and we'll hold here a few breaths. Okay, we're going to set up for our next pose, which is a reclined supported cobbler's pose. I'm going to keep my height pretty low for this. I'm just going to use my bed pillow and the 2 couch pillows for under the knees. We'll be in this one a little bit longer. We'll be here 4 to 5 minutes total. So come seated right against the edge of your pillow. Come down onto the back so the head, the shoulders are supported. Keep the knees bent for a moment. And bringing your yoga blocks or cushions along either side of the knees. Let the knees open out to the sides as the soles of the feet come together. And just allowing these first few breaths to settle in. If you need to shift and move, you can do so. This is really great for opening the hips and simultaneously relaxing through the back. And before we settle into stillness, we're going to do a little abdominal massage. I'm going to take our first finger and middle finger of both hands and bring it, find your belly button, and then drop down about an inch below there. And so the first 2 fingers of the right hand and the left hand are touching just below the belly button. We're going to move in a circular motion, clockwise circular motion. Just gentle pressure, gentle massage. And from that center point, you can begin to explore if you want to take it a little bit to the right, to the left, and just kind of explore, keeping the fingertips touching and keeping this circular clockwise motion. If you've eaten quite recently, this might not be completely comfortable or even the right time. If it does not feel good right now, then you can always do this again at a time where it's a little bit more accessible. Kind of work your way from your outer explorations back to just below the belly button. Kind of end there, shaking out the hands, and then bringing the hands to a comfortable position. So you could keep the open palms on the belly if that feels good, or you could have the hands alongside the body, palms facing up. And now we can settle in for a time of stillness. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, release. Slide the hands under the knees. Use them to help bring the knees back up. With the feet on the floor, just rock through the pelvis. If you are on a support that is too large to allow you to do that, just pause and remove it. Everyone will remove the support in just a moment. And gently rocking the pelvis forward and back. If you're able to lift the feet up off the floor and draw the knees into the chest, if you're just on a small pillow, then do that. Otherwise, roll to the side, remove your support, and come onto your back. Draw the knees into the chest, clasping the hands around the shins, hugging the knees in deeply. You can let them be wide. The knees can be a little bit wider, they don't have to touch. And just allow the compression to happen in the abdomen. The base, the pelvic floor is nice and open. Focus on slow, deep, and even breathing. I'll let the knees drop a little bit wider. Just holding the right hand holds the right shin, left hand holds the left shin. Still knees drawing up towards the chest, knees wider. This pose is really great for relieving any trapped air or gas in the abdomen. All right. Release one foot and then the other. Down to the ground. Roll to the side. Press yourself up. We have one more pose before our final relaxation. And this is the pose that you could use your heating pad if you have it. I'm going to have a pillow underneath. We're going to lie on our belly for crocodile pose or makrasana. And I like a little support. I'm not super comfortable resting on my stomach. So I'm going to have a pillow underneath. You could maybe even just have a pillow underneath the belly and hips. But I'm going to come down on this longer bed pillow. The heating pad will be on the belly, right? Sometimes we need that heat to aid in our digestion. So we're gonna come over the pillow, lower down. So the heat is under the belly. Again, take the hands, stack them so you have something to rest the forehead on so you can breathe. If you're flat on the belly, no pillow, you might need to turn the head to the side. And then the feet, instead of being on the tops of the feet and kind of the heels rolling out, the thighs will externally rotate. So you're more on the inner thighs. And the inseam or the instep of the foot is what's on the ground. Let's let the belly really be soft, releasing into the pillow, into the heat. Just focus on the breath for a few moments as you settle in, letting the belly be soft. No need to try to hold or suck in the belly. Just really allow the belly to release as you breathe. Let the belly be full. If at any time this pose on the belly becomes too much, just lift up and press yourself back into child's pose. Okay, we'll be here another minute or two. Take the hands, move them alongside the pillow, lifting the head as you do so. Press yourself up and back to child's pose. In this child's pose, if you need to push your support forward, you can do that. So you can really lengthen out through the arms. Shifting back through the right hip and the left hip. And slowly walk your hands in, pressing yourself up to seated. And we want to take time to prepare for final relaxation. I'm going to keep the pillow underneath me for support, and I'm going to use the heating pad underneath the low back. If you have something to cover the eyes with, you can use that to kind of dim the light. You can grab a blanket to cover up with. Once you get all of your goodies handy, come all the way down. Shift through the hips, through the legs. And as you shift and move, releasing any tension. So you can come into a comfortable stillness. Take a few deep breaths, really filling the belly as you inhale and exhale, release. You can even place the hands on the belly for a moment, giving yourself your own healing energy, healing touch to the belly, to the digestive area. We need time and space in order to digest both our food and our experiences. So allowing this time now to digest your evening meal and the experiences of your day. We'll be here in Shavasana for 5 minutes. I'll hold the time and ring a soft bell when it's our time to conclude. Take a nice deep breath. Breathing fully into the belly, feel it expand. Exhale, release gently through an open mouth. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. I'd like you to stay as relaxed as you can. Make your movements very gentle, very loving, very nourishing as you begin to reawaken the body. Shift and move in any way that you'd like. Eventually finding your way up to seated. Once seated, place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Honoring this transformative power of digestion. Slide the hands together at heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for tonight's restorative class. The light within me honors and celebrates the light within each of you. Namaste.